mobile app security, securing customer data, frauds prevention, and regulatory compliances. Today we have eminent speakers from industry with varied experience with us. I'm sure this panel discussion is going to be very exciting and lots of wisdom as we will be discussing new age mobile app security, fraud prevention techniques, and many more. To discuss these nuances, we have elite group of panelists with us today. Let us welcome on stage Mr. Shankar Ram Rakhiani, Chief Information Security Officer, Head Business Continuity, IIFL Finance Limited. Welcome you, sir. Then we have Mr. Kinjal Shah, who is the Chief Technical Officer, Yes Securities Limited. Then we have Mr. Navneethan M, Senior Cyber Security Expert. Then we have Mr. Manish Memani, Founder and CEO, Protect AI Lab Private Limited. To moderate and steer the session, I would request Navneethan to take this forward. Over to you, Navneethan. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. A very good evening, everyone. And it's like, I think, after lunch, and definitely it should be a very exciting discussion. And it's not just only on the dais. Really, just we are looking a lot of the input and discussion, and then in terms of the points where we can debate a lot on that, right? Awesome. See the current trends, what's happening is from end to end, it may not get into any other technology standpoint. Right now, what we are looking is as a bottom level, right? The one kid's born from the 6 month or when the baby is growing in womb itself, they are trying to hear this mobile. It starts from there and it ends like when you're going in the final destiny, right? Till that, just a mobile continue this complete journey, day-to-day life. Without wife, we can run the life. And of course, without family, we can, but just when you're sleeping also, our hand will be searching in the mobile. That's a fundamental right. Now, without that, really, we cannot, irrespective of the purpose, whether it is on the social media, in terms of the official, or in terms of the email checking, or any other call, whatever it is, ultimately, the mobile is binded with our day-to-day life. So now it's not any enterprise issues. Now it's not any other organization. It's not a country issues. It is absolutely the national threats. If any set of volume of people it got compromised or any of the pattern is leaked out, then we will be in the major threats. So really just we are seeing us national threats, like what are the things we have to have a look. It's like a bigger, the vision, right? As a kids, they may be holding. In terms of the advertisement, what are the advertisements being pushed? It's a different issues. And in terms of most of the CXOs, we'll be using it in terms of the mobile is the bigger gadget in terms of day-to-day business. We don't handle laptop, right? It's mostly mobile is more than enough to get things done what we wanted to have it. So from the global market where we have a close to 8.55 billion subscriptions in terms of mobile alone. On that India alone, we have a close to 950 million, close to 1 billion in terms of subscriptions on the mobile. It's maybe one user's 2 device. It's maybe one user's 3 device. It's ultimately where we have a close to 1 billion subscription. Think about it. It's a huge data which is making incredible impact in the industry across the world. So with this great range, right, where we have from the CISO standpoint, where we have a CTO as well as where we have the CEO on how they are enabling this, the mobile market, how we are going to add value is the bigger stuff. So maybe I would like to start on the the global trends. Kinjal, just maybe I wanted to put it to you. How you are finding in terms of the dynamic changes, because consumption is absolutely, it has a transfer, right? There's now no more in terms of the laptop. It's maybe the 10-20% of the users. The rest of the things are on the mobile. In terms of the consumer standpoint, how you are making the adoptions, at the same time, how you are ensuring the security on the global scale?
So right now, I think a majority of users for most of the applications is on mobile. I mean, the web usage is going down and down. Right now, it's reduced to maybe 20%. I assume, even though the percentage may remain same, the number of mobile device proliferation will only increase over time. And what is happening is another trend is the digitalization. So more and more of data that we as organizations have, we are trying to roll it out to consumers at the click of a button or just a click. So you have to be even more aware of the security angles. A lot of features which are there in mobile which are not using actively, like currently cab drivers used Google Voice better than any college grad also. So that is one trend. Another is gesture based. I think Samsung is doing very good on gesture based mobile navigation. So that also has not gone mainstream so much. So once that goes, the challenges as well as the number of features that you need to offer in a mobile device will only increase. So I think those are one of the couple of main trends which are going on.
Awesome, amazing. So this is like a two things, right? As you mentioned, in terms of the what is that the customer needs, and then what's the technology provide. But however, no, really, just I wanted to hear from you, how and where you are balancing in terms of because everything you wanted to be in one click, right? That's what it is a customer requirement. They'll be keep demanding. I want to be in one click. I want to do the payment. One click. I wanted to buy a stock. One click. I wanted to sell it. But some places where we have to compromise on the security also, right? How you handle from consumer requirement versus in terms of the security?
Yeah, so I think you set the context very well, right? So life is, very dull without mobile apps or mobiles, right? Everything, as an individual, you are carrying the entire entertainment system, entire banking, TV, and any news, apps. So everything primarily, you use mobile all the time, right? In earlier days, maybe, wallet or watch, people used to, don't used to forget when, they leave to, house. But yeah, mobile now plays a very important role. And the other thing is that more usage comes with more risks, right? Because attacker tries to exploit, okay, which is the easiest channel, right? And not, everyone, is a techie, by nature, but yeah, they more or less that, people know how to, operate on mobile apps. And for the organization perspective, especially who are tightly regulated, by many regulations like SEBI, RBI, NHB, IRDA, right? Especially in the finance sector, it has also become very crucial for the organizations to save the mobile apps. Attacker will never come to, your backend systems. They always want their data and the apps to go down, right? Because here it hurts the business the most, right? So security, there is no way, you bypass, right? So it sometimes hurts the user experience, but alternately, you have to also give them the way, okay, so that they can do the business. Navneet, and so security cannot be a bottleneck. You have to give the business, users, your end customers, the leverage to use the, mobile app, okay, with all the, good experience. It has to be seamless experience, but yeah, of course, without not, hurting the quality of the app as well as the security controls. So as you rightly mentioned that, two-factor sometimes becomes a tedious task for the user, right? And everyone wants to do it one click, but it will introduce a lot of risks, right? Your data can be compromised, your identity can be compromised. So, so we need to balance, between the risk and the business. You design your apps, okay, in a better manner. Have it integrated, with a centralized identity. Have facial recognition, kind of thing where, you don't wait for the OTP, okay, and, your app, recognize the, person who you are, right? And apart from that, attackers know, which are loopholes they want to exploit. So I think as an organization, a security, team or, the business or digital strategy, as Kinjal also said, right, the usage of the web has gone down, right? So more and more mobile apps are coming and it's very easy to use. Apart from, making the presentation, of course, you can't make it mobile. You need a laptop or otherwise most of the work, 70, 80% you can do it, on your mobile app. So I think as a CISO or, as a, organization, it becomes very important to secure this aspect also. We are no longer living in a traditional world where the attackers, or any intruders, fraudsters will come only from the perimeter level, right? Your identity is also in your mobile app. Your malware infection can also come. We have seen, data getting compromised. Even the factory resets have been done. If the mobile goes, if your application is compromised. So I think as an individual, there is, no alternative, to say no to security. You have to balance it. But of course, you have to give that leverage to the user, help them understand that we are doing for the entire ecosystem. We may be taking his time. Okay, apps takes time to log in, but at the end run, end goal, it will only benefit them. So I think it's a balance between the risk, cost, of course, with the user experience, but yeah, security is equally important, to ensure that, yeah, his data is safe, payment, transaction, everything. Yeah, thanks.
No, awesome, Sankar. I think you have covered the entire 360 degrees. Specifically, what are the major issues, what are currently we are facing? Specifically, the people will think that it's like a one identity as a mobile, right? In terms of the facial recognition, in terms of fingerprint, or what are the PA information, what are the PH you have it, it's everything is fed into the mobile actually. Thanks, Shankar. Mani, just, he has opened a little bit, or maybe the wider the problem statement, right? See, earlier statement, like what are the mobile, it is only to make a call. So now it is not the like, right? It's all the work, it's being done through the mobile. It's not only the work, right? All the identity also we have given. See, earlier we thought, so I didn't want to mention just one of the entity, but however, on the airport, just whatever, if you want to have a fast walk-in, the people will work on this in terms of the facial, recognition. So we thought it's a blessed. But once the data is leaked out, then people will be looking like who is owner of that, respective data. The similar way, now if you take any mobile, our fingerprint is already gone. Our facial recognition is gone, right? So really, we are not sure how many applications being installed, who is consuming what kind of data. That's the second question is, in terms of apps also so dynamic, right? The environment is so dynamic, it's not so static, like throughout the year, you will be holding the same version of, the Android as well as iOS. So how do we balance and how we can ensure the security level from the consumer standpoint as well as from enterprise standpoint?
Perfect, Raman. This is really a tricky question because we bundle up so many things together. Just to carry on with the thoughts what Sankar mentioned, in terms of adoption, if you see a normal human, an adult human in India is spending almost 5 hours daily on a smartphone. That's the kind of time we are spending. And that's what the digital transformation is all about. Digital transformation is actually about mobile first today. Okay? If I talk about any kind of financial sector, be it bank or insurance or stock trading, okay, everyone is having mobile application first strategy. 80% of the transactions, especially into banking, mobile banking, similarly into stock trading or NBFC, if I call out, which are building super apps, okay, customer onboarding happening through mobile applications, customer servicing happening through mobile applications, lead management happening on mobiles, and whether it is all internal processes like HR also. So that's what the real digital transformation onto the mobile, using mobile first strategy is. But yes, this is also opening up a whole lot of window. If you pick up newspaper today, we always read about some of the identity theft happened, some fraud happened, some mobile hacks is happening. Other than the last 2 days where we are reading about elections news and all, but this is all about, mobile application frauds, identity thefts. That is what is being read. So it becomes so important for organizations to understand how are we responding to these kind of threats while our applications are running on consumer device. The definition of endpoint is changing. Earlier, while we call laptop, desktop as endpoints, today, when a mobile app developed by an organization is running on any device, right? It is consumer device, it's a salespeople device. It is behaving like an endpoint. And these endpoints maybe are in millions in numbers today. So assume the kind of risk which these endpoints are bringing back to the organization and related to identity, related to data leakages. Okay, these endpoints are connected to different kind of networks sometimes which are so unsecured. Okay, MITM is happening. Some kind of, people are trying to break into the mobile application, do some tampering with these apps, use it for malicious purposes. So the risk posture is totally changed actually, okay, into the mobile world. And that's where companies have to start adopting newest technologies. Okay, as Kinjal mentioned about, use of AI or use of, recognition, facial recognition systems, okay, which are secured. Sometimes it is secured by operating system, but at the same time, we have to see that how our applications can be secured on runtime basis, okay, using some runtime security solutions. Okay, that's how the market is evolving. And this gives a complete compliances, levels of compliances also as stated by regulators, whether it is RBI or SEBI, they have clear-cut articulation of these kind of security measures to be taken.
Absolutely, Manish. In terms of, no, you touched on the main 2 points. Maybe the second point I would like to insist in terms of the runtime security as a consumer, I may not have a control, right? Maybe who will be owning this responsibility to ensure that in terms of the overall runtime security issues, whether it is an enterprise, so they have to ensure that like who is pushing, or maybe as a end users, what are things I have to take it up as precautions?
I will answer it shortly that organizations have to be responsible. If we are delivering a point of service for customer acquisition or for servicing, okay, companies have to take the responsibility. If nothing should go wrong onto my mobile application as an organization, right? We can't go and blame it on consumer that, okay, on your device there was some screen mirroring happening and because of this fraud has happened. Okay, or because your device was having some malwares and because of which our application has been compromised. That may not be the right way of going back to the consumers. Okay, so it is the responsibility of organizations while they are adopting digital transformation mobile first strategy to secure mobile applications from any kind of cyber threats, frauds, identity thefts. Okay, so collectively, it's the overall. That's what regulators have also, very clearly articulated now into the new compliances.
Awesome, amazing, Manish. Now, since you touched on in terms of cyber fraud, how we can do the auto detection, auto predictions, right? And it's not so easy. It is like really just we are not sure what is the counterpart it is doing. Or maybe while having a call, maybe somebody is asking for OTP, it is alerting, right? Now it's already system in place saying that like they are alerting like, you are in a call, but you are sending the OTP. Are you sure? Are you sending that? So similarly, we have attended many cyber crime and cyber fraud in recent time. Maybe I can disclose like the FedEx scam, right? Absolutely. And it's like a same pattern. Maybe just go and search on the same pattern. Is a DCP, is a police commissioner, same ID card is being used across all the fraud. So to this point, maybe I believe I can put it to the Kinjal. Like from the development standpoint, how the AI going to play a very significant role, because it's like fraud is very determined. Even you will not change the name. If you see that it's like a close to 50 to 60 fraud, the same guy, same ID card, that means something is missing, right? Maybe on the from try standpoint where we can feed it, or maybe we can embed the coding from the AI standpoint. Like if any this image appears on so and so guys, then there should be a disconnection of call. Or there should be intelligent, you should tell there is a scam or there is a fraud call, please be aware of that, right? So maybe where we are heading towards that.
So I think organizations need to start creating some awareness programs on what are the common hacks for their particular kind of application. Because right now what the hackers and everyone, they use social engineering. They don't just send one mass email to everyone and try to hope that some people get lucky. They look up your data, then they take it on from the dark web, then they kind of, sleep over it and try to get more data, and then try to get other passwords, other accounts, and then they send you teasers like, okay, your accounts have been hacked, these are your passwords. So you are more interested to clicking such links, which shows you all the details of where you have been hacked, when actually that link is to get you into the trap. So those things, I think it is mostly awareness. I can't have a hack-proof application which will take care of that. But what I can do is, whatever the common pitfalls, at least we can try to build something against that. Maybe put in a lot of server-side validation when the mobile request comes, do random sampling, create hubs where attackers will try to attack your application. So create a portion of a network where people can actually come in and get caught. So you can do a lot of activities which are around, but still I think you can't help stop a user from clicking an SMS or an email with a fraudulent intention.
Yeah,
because
true.
that is just, like human tendency.
Yeah, that's true. But just we can make awareness saying that like, what it is, a red alert or something like that. That way it is, we can make it.
Awareness is, I think, key for that.
Key coded. Okay, awesome. Great. Shankar, just coming back to you, right? Just we had in terms of what is the threat intelligence, what we have it, and what are the ways just a fraud can happen. And from the legal regulatory standpoint, because just you are regulated by the a couple of RE, and really just I wanted to understand what are the legal regulations from this organization, from RE it is coming, how we are enforcing to make from the enterprise standpoint as well as from the consumer standpoint.
I think just to add what Manish said, right? So as an organization, we cannot be the source of infection, right? If customer device is infected because of us, it's primarily our responsibility and we will be held accountable, right? So that's why you need to, develop secure apps, right? And as soon as, you should do a regular review of these apps, right? Their systems cannot be, infected because of our mistakes. If email is also going to them, okay, and if DMARC is not implemented by us and that to in reject mode, there are highly chances of customers' email getting compromised. One can spoof and, after all, a customer will be impacted. So the other thing is that, Navneet, to answer your question, right, organizations need to have a 360-degree security approach, okay, to secure the entire, infrastructure or application. One has to come from the traditional mindset of only just doing the VAPT or, patching and your work is done, right? It's not like that. So to secure a mobile app, okay, from all the aspects, of course, Kenjal also highlighted, awarenesses will always be the key control that an end user must know, and even, staff, of the organization, your board member, stakeholder, that, yeah, awareness is primarily will protect, okay, to some extent, but not all the extent. Your security by design thought has to be come now, to ensure that your application is designed, in a way where all the security parameters are taken care. Your privacy, parameters also now should be part of your secure SDLC, right? You should consider API. API plays a very important role in overall ecosystem. You are consuming APIs, you are developing APIs. So also API security will also play an important role, okay, to ensure your mobile apps are secure. And apart from that, the biggest thing is a risk assessment. You actually do a proper risk assessment of the application. You need to ensure what is your data flow, where the PI inventory is going, okay, which all systems it are getting integrated. Are you having the proper network architecture, okay, of that app? Okay, what all information you're trying to collect, okay, with the DPDP, the act which is coming, right? You need to ensure what all information your app will be collecting. So all of this primarily, will become an important, checks for organizations need to follow. And apart from that, you need to have a thorough, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing of the app. From the consumer perspective, you need to have a robust, runtime application security, which will alert the user in case user is trying to do something, right? So many banks and, organizations have implemented when you're trying to connect to a, let's say, unknown Wi-Fi, right? They give an alert that it can be, it's not a secure Wi-Fi. So all of these primarily, controls are very important to secure the, entire, infrastructure and the, IT systems, the ecosystems around the mobile app. The biggest thing is your zero trust. So organizations have been adopting, defense in depth approach, where I have the security layer at perimeter, network, data, your cloud layer, application layer, end user, people layer. Now, but you need to verify everything before you allow any connection to your network. Right, that's all the, and when I say zero trust, it's not a one solution. You need to have a combination of all the solution, right? So you need to have, appropriate controls at, at each and every level. And one should not forget the, basic hygiene. Most of the attacks actually happen because of the lack of basic controls. I may implement all of the best of the breed technologies at every layer, but if I don't do proper patching, if I don't do proper VAPT, aging of vulnerabilities are there, application, the way it is designed, right, it is open to IDOR attacks, SQL injection attacks. Developers are not learning from their best practices. It will hit the organization in a long way. Cloud containers, people develop everything on the cloud. You have microservices, Kubernetes. You forgot to close the S3 buckets, blob storages. An attacker just need a one click, right? We always need to understand there will always lethargic and lean. They always try to find the easy loopholes. Nobody wants to take, waste time, right? So I think these are all the things, in the organization it's required, and technology team also understands you have, because they are the one who are developing the apps. And if the vendor is or a partner is developing this, solution for you, right, the mobile apps, they should also adhere to your best practices. You can't go back to the regulator and tell that, it has happened because of, vendor breach or partner breach. You will be held accountable. You have given them the contract, they are responsible, but it is the onus on you to ensure that they apply all the security controls. This is all nothing but RBI says, SEBI says, and the final thing is that it's primarily the organization who needs to take a call. Board needs to take a call, and these are all serious matters. If you don't invest now, if you don't focus now, the damage will be huge. Okay, and CISOs and their teams have always been in trouble, including the tech teams. Thanks.
Awesome, Mosika. Just maybe as a summary, really just where we need the fundamental things needs to be taken care. which includes in terms of zero trust network. It's may not be on the one layer, right? Lineage is where we have to focus on the multi-defense, which will detect and then prevent from end to end from the organization standpoint at the same time from the individual standpoint. One is very interesting question, really. I may put you in a very tough situation. See, if you take any organizations, we have the bigger, the architect, bigger network, and bigger administrators, as well as where we have CISO, CIO communities to ensure that organization infrastructure is taken care. But if you take this end user computing standpoint, let's take the mobile itself, which we handle, most of the devices will not have AAV, most of the devices may not have a MDM, right? But which has a complete trust. Like how, because if we send one SMS, I can push my malware. If you send one picture, I can put my spyware, right? It's like how do we ensure that, it is a bigger volume, bigger task, and a bigger contribution for the economy as well as for the country. And how we are going to detect and then prevent, such an attack from the, the cyber threats. And really just I wanted to hear from the OEM standpoint.
I will talk about one very interesting research we were doing in terms of especially BFSI mobile applications. So we studied about 100 apps. We identified 95% of these apps, larger apps, were prone to reverse engineering and tampering. So that shows the kind of security which is currently embedded. And once I talk about reverse engineering, it is at the end point. From a consumer device, once I have downloaded a mobile application, can I go and tamper with it for some malicious purpose? Similarly, India being an Android market, 94% of India is Android, and Android being open source, there are so many malwares which are always there, and these are not signature-based malwares, these are into the form of utility apps, gaming applications. They keep on spying. What these malwares do is, they will target one particular, financial mobile application. They will start doing screen recording, screenshot capture, which means that they can read the name and account numbers. They will do key logging, another form of malware. They will capture keystrokes. What is my user ID, password? Okay. Now I have user ID, I have password, I have account name, account number. They will transfer this data, slowly to their CNC server and start doing phishing campaigns. Simple. We have seen we can actually simulate all these. What I said is just a 1 day of time into our lab, research lab. And that's where companies' apps has to be smart enough to understand and protect itself from these kind of malwares which are hidden into a mobile device but is targeting the mobile application. And these are banking apps, NBFC apps, insurance apps, and all these data, customer data is getting leaked. So, and very, very simple from an Android device, one person can go and do all the simulation. That is where when Sankar was talking about runtime protection for mobile applications become necessary. That how we go as a company, how we go and make our apps intelligent to understand any threat while it is running on a consumer device. And if it encounters any threat, how it will do a self-protection. Okay, because think of a banking app which is running on some 5 million endpoints, 50 lakh customers. How do I go and protect it on a runtime? Okay, so that's where the security in the mobile application world is moving towards. RBI, DPSC compliances started articulating this very clearly that you should have anti-malware capabilities into your mobile applications. You should protect the interest of your consumer, customer. Do not allow any kind of any desk become a key source of these frauds. Remote desktop, people are taking and doing phishing. So all these controls are becoming a necessity for modern day mobile applications, especially into BFSI sectors, banking and large NBFC apps, super apps, stock trading apps. So that's how the world is moving towards.
Awesome, Manish. It's moreover, from the consumer standpoint, I believe we may not require to worry on what this enterprise is pushing, right? Because already regulatory entities are pushing the enterprise saying that to launch to the consumer, these are the minimum stuff which needs to be taken care.
Correct, yeah.
Awesome. Great, Manish. So really just where we have a summary and it is like two things, right? It's the responsibility from the end user standpoint, it's the responsibility of the consumer as well as the enterprise. Because the regulatory is giving this in terms of guidelines, in terms of directions. But however, we wanted to protect the data what our consumer is holding at the transact or the store from the end to end. It's maybe as rightly mentioned by Sankar, it's a fundamental things where we have to take care of from the bottom to the top level in terms of zero trust, the architecture also. And as rightly, the Kinjal is mentioned, from where we are forecasting towards AML and the data sets will help us to detect the cyber threats and then prevent the cyber threats in the upcoming way. From there, we can take it forward. So maybe with the last 30 seconds, Kinjal, maybe one takeaway for the audience, any key things which as an enterprise we should look, and then maybe from there we can conclude and take it up.
I think we should try to apply security fixes as part of the development cycle itself and not
Awesome.
as a post facto.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Yeah, Shankarji.
Yeah, so security by design approach must be there, but try to keep things simple, right? And honestly, you can't change things overnight. It's a baby step approach. Security also becomes disruption sometimes. So, and we all need to understand it's not a luxury, right? It has its own consequences and repercussions. Your firewall, your any appliance you put, right? It is bound to create latencies. It is bound to create, user experiences, issues with the user experiences. But however, you should not also become a bottleneck. So as a security practitioner of the organization, time have gone, same time is not there where you say things no, that you cannot do it. You have to give them some alternatives. If they are asking you for FTP, you have to give SFTP. Okay, that's if they are, let's say, asking for any endpoint, right, exception in the endpoint, you need to ensure that those compensatory controls are there. Awareness will always be key. And we always need to understand is that consumer will always have an added advantage. We are in the service business, right? Things can go wrong with them, but as an organization, we'll always be held accountable. Board buy-in must. So, and as an CISO, you have to be tactical in nature, as a strategic in nature. You need to have a strong communication, strong presentation skills. Technical skills, you need to have a very strong team. Without strong team, you can't do much. So, and attackers have become smart, so you need to have a strong, team, within your, ecosystem, which can help to, prevent attack, against the attacks. Partners are very important. As an organization, you cannot do on your own because you are in a different business. So you need to rely the security, solutions from various partners, and you need to continuously invest. Security is not, it's not a back office operation anymore. It's primarily board level interactions. There are a lot of committees have been formed. Ask for more. Like business will never say no because you can always tell them that if we don't pay now, the repercussion would be very high. So invest rightly, and of course, don't forget on basics because we have seen in our organization also sometimes small mistakes from any of us, right, creates a huge havoc, and in the longer run. Most of the attacks actually happen when we forget the basics. Thanks, Namit.
Awesome, Sankar. Just I like the fundamental is just focus on fundamental as well as be simple and get things done on the right way. Mani, just final words from you.
I will use only 3 words that build customer-centric security.
Awesome.
Keep customer in mind and then build security. It will be good.
Awesome. It's like one word, but it's a very powerful word. Awesome. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wonderful discussion. In fact, I enjoy and learn from the bottom to top what best we can do under. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Just will be announcing this. Yeah.
So thank you very much, panelists, for such a great panel discussion with great insights and takeaways. Now we would like to facilitate our esteemed panelists. I would request Vinayak sir to please come on stage and please facilitate. Thank you.